Hi, it's Michaela. I am a successful candidate for JET Program 2023 here in Trinidad and Tobago. If you're watching this video, you're probably preparing to apply yourself. When I was applying last year, I didn't see any videos specific for Trinidad and Tobago, so I hope this helps you out. This video will cover the application window, necessary documents, how to fill out your application form, and some extra advice. Alright, let's get into this. In my opinion, the JET program is the best teaching program in Japan. So it makes sense why it's so highly competitive. This entire process, just the application alone, takes 1 year. So you really need to be mentally prepared to do this career choice. Applications open in September of the preceding year of departure. That just means if you wanted to leave in 2023, you should have applied last year in 2022. I knew I wanted to join this program back in February 2022. So you could understand my frustration when I found out that the application had just closed 2 months ago. And I had about 6 months to sit down, think about this, understand how it's going to affect my life, how this is a career choice I'm making. And so it was kind of like a blessing in disguise to just contemplate deeply about why I wanted to do this. Do I really want to do this? Is this the correct career choice I was making? And one of the major things I did just to not get lost in my own little world was to follow the Embassy of Japan in Trinidad and Tobago's official Instagram and put it up here. It is Japan EMB TT. So I was aware of exactly when applications were open and I was not going to miss my chance this year. In the post, there are 3 attributes and 3 requirements. You'll also see that there's a link. This is not an active link. Copy and paste, put it in your browser, go to that website, because that website will have your application guidelines. Then it's a seemingly simple process. You fill out some forms, gather some documents, put that in a folder, and bada bing bada boom, you're applying and dropping off your application. For me, applications began the 8th of September 2022 and closed 16th of December 2022. So that was around 6 weeks to organize everything. Just because you have 6 weeks to organize everything doesn't mean you can't start before the application window. Necessary documents. Cool. Now that we know when you should expect the application window to be open, we can finally get into the nitty-gritty of what documents you need to get and the forms you have to fill out. On the website itself, you would see exactly what you need to submit. You do not need all the documents right now. I think there are 2 documents you don't need to submit if you're not doing early arrivals. I was trying to do early departure, so I just submitted everything except for 1 document, but we'll get to that later. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go over all your documents first and then your forms. So first document is your transcript. You need a hard copy of your official transcript from your university. It needs to be signed, sealed, and stamped. Yes, you have to go in and buy this at UWI. Yes, you have to have 2 copies because you have to open one to photocopy it, and you cannot just, put it back because it would not be sealed anymore. Think about it. And yes, admin might catch on fire the day before you collect your documents and not give it to you until you write many emails. But if I could survive this, so can you. Certificate of graduation, same thing like transcripts. You need to get this from your university. Do not put your official certificate there, as in your original. You need to get a certified copy. They will not return this. So if you put your original, you're not going to get it back. Reference letters. You need 2 reference letters, but it's really 4 because you need a copy of each letter. At that time, I didn't have a full-time job. So what did I do as a recent graduate? I contacted my professors. I contact 3 of them, although I only need 2. It is good to have a safety just in case one of them doesn't reply or has a negative review. I didn't get any negative, but just in case, get in contact more than you need and just pick the best 2. Once again, this must be signed by them in person, no electronic signature. He must be like pen signed, sealed in an envelope, and stamped. The stamp I use, because I was like, oh, what stamp they're gonna use, is just their like faculty stamp. So good. Criminal record, better known as Certificate of Character here in Trinidad and Tobago, COC for short. And this is the most difficult form to receive. You go on their website, you make an appointment at your local like police station, you go on the day, they take your fingerprints, and they're supposed to process it. The issue is that the machine has been broken for months and months and months, and although I applied for it in September, I still have not received my certificate many months later. So I highly recommend, even if you do not plan on doing early departure, get your certificate of character from like beforehand. Like, I think there is like a window of how recent it needs to be, but I cannot recall that, like how much, like if it's 6 months or a year is valid for, but it just needs to be recent. Document which shows your nationality. This was super simple. I used my passport. You can use your national ID. So cool. Those are the 5 documents you can probably try to get before the application window open or during the beginning of the application window. Now we go to the forms. First form, self-medical report. Fairly simple form to fill out. Please be honest about any piercings or tattoos. Just because you have tattoos or piercings does not mean you'll automatically be disregarded. It's just part of Japanese culture that those things are frowned upon. They just want to know, so be honest. Certificate of health, go by your doctor. Be prepared to go and get an x-ray of your lungs. I did not read the form before I went by the doctor, and then I had to go and get an x-ray and then do a lot of back and forth. So save yourself the hassle, get your x-ray before you go to the doctor. And essay/statement of purpose, I'm going to make a separate video about that, so stay tuned. Application form. I am going to go over this in great detail, not because like it's super complicated or anything. I just wanted somebody, when I was doing it, to just like sit down with me and make sure I was doing this correct. I'm a very anxious person, so if I could help ease somebody's anxiety out there, hopefully this helps. Welcome to how to fill out your application form. So you're gonna see it's gonna be your year you're applying here. So mine was 2023 JET program application form. I believe the form is the same for each year, just they will change it to the appropriate year. Directly under that is the instructions. Instructions are fairly simple. The application should be typed if possible or neatly handwritten in block letters. I decided to go with the neatly handwritten route. Sorry. So if you hear me flipping pages, that's me going through my application. Number 2, numbers should be in Arabic numerals. Number 3, years should be written using the Anno Domini system. Number 4, proper nouns should be written in full and not abbreviated. Then, okay, just a little warning here. Not super important. So this video is about becoming an ALT. So for question number 1, which position type? Nope. I read that completely wrong. 1, position type for which you are applying. You're gonna go ahead and take the middle option, ALT, assistant language teacher. Number 2, interview location. So I believe that we did not have a specific code, so we're going to go under other and we're going to write 9999. And even though it says interview location, I believe that it meant where the embassy is, because I didn't know where the interview would be held, but I wrote Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. Number 3, name. Pretty straightforward. Put your last name, your first name, and if you have a middle name, this is your slot. I only have one middle name. I don't know if you have multiple middle names. You try to make it fit. This is for if you're Chinese, but I don't think anybody will be filling this out. Number 4, sex. If you're a man, click male. If you're female, click female. If you're other, you're other. So 3 options. I clicked female. Number 5, date of birth. So this is basically what rule 3 is with that system. What you're gonna write is the full year and just the month and day. So this is your birthday, you know your birthday, put what year you were, what month you were, as well as your age as of the 1st April 2023. Number 6 is a 2-parter, so 6A, nationality. We do appear on the chart this time, so you can just write TT. I did not write it out because it's unnecessary. 6B, dual nationality. Do you possess dual nationality with Japan? I do not, so take no. Number 7, home state and hometown. We do not have home states. I grew up in a town, so I put the name of the town here. Number 8, present address and telephone number. I do not know what is a fax mean? It's a fax number. Okay, so your fax number and email. So you know your address, write out your address, telephone number / fax number. I do not have a fax machine. I put my cell phone number. I'm so accustomed to writing my home number on my forms just because, like, I don't know, I just always did that. But please write your cell phone number, because this is the number they're going to be constantly calling, and it's better to have your phone always on you and get the call than, let's say, you call at home and somebody else pick up the phone. Email, write your email address. Yeah, they're just telling you don't use a spam email, use your main email so it is constantly active. Number 9, criminal record. We can all guess how that is. I do not have criminal record, so I click E. No. I didn't deal with that. So number 10, occupation, university, employer. So I recently graduated, so technically I'm unemployed because I'm not a student. Usually you put student for your occupation, so I didn't put unemployed, just left it blank. So I have not going to university, not employed, and don't have an occupation basically. Okay, 11 is a multi-parter as well. Looks like it's 3 parts. Educational background. 11A, academic degree. So take off if you have a bachelor's, a master's, or a doctorate. I had a BA, so bachelor's. 11B, academic specialization. Once again, you have these boxes. Go back to your charts. So they specifically tell you which chart to go to. So this one is chart 4. So my one was 20. so 20 film production. And I did a double major, so I utilized the second box, 20 film studies. So I didn't specify that it was a double major or a minor. I just wrote the name, so I don't think you're compelled to specify if you don't want to. 11C, academic record. So just put your high school graduation date, write it in the same format as they asked. So I graduated the 25th of October 2018. So I wrote 25/10/2018. So keep your years in full, do not shorten it. And for this higher education level, once again, like they said here, my degree level will be bachelor's based on those three. Name of institution, eating on my words here. Name of institution and location. So I put University of the West Indies, St. Augustine. Days attended, I just used the year, so I was there from 2018 to 2021. Duration of attendance, I did 3 years. Major field of study, I think it's the same thing here, so I think it was the code correlates to your field. So mine was art, I think art was 20, so yeah, it's a BA, Bachelor of Art. Yeah, degree, diploma, date earned or expected. So pretty simple, just look at your degree. I just said a BA film because they both incorporate, they just both film to me. So BA film 2021. Remember, you needed your official transcripts, so this is just a little reminder there. Number 12, employment history. So this would be relevant if you had a full-time job or a part-time job. I've worked freelance before, so it's been very one-off events, not consistent at all. So in my case, I left it blank, but name of employer and location. So put out your employer's name and where they're from. You don't have to, you could just put the city, not the full address. Period. You can do the same thing I did with my degree up here. So you put from what year to what year, your job title, your job description, and hours per week. So how many hours did you work per week? 13, teaching/coaching background. So teaching background for CIRs and ALTs only. So if you had any classroom teaching experience, you fill it out here. You go through name of organization and location, period. Same thing, you could do the years again, your job title, job description, hours per week. And that also applies if you did any tutoring jobs. Just make sure you fill it out in the correct column. Right underneath that is the teacher training. So if you're certified, this is when you're going to be writing about it. And here they ask, do you possess the following teacher's certification? So if you do not have a certificate, click no. If you do not have any qualifications, click no. Do not lie and say you have any certificates that you do not have. It is not a requirement, so they're not automatically going to disregard your application because you don't have any experience, okay? 13B, coaching background and qualification. This is for SEAs only, we are not SEAs. Same goes with this. Proposed direction of career and its relation to the JET program. I did not know how to formulate my answer to this question until I did the statement of purpose. In my statement of purpose video, you might have heard me have 5 questions, and the final question, not word for word, but is what would you do after the JET program? This is basically the essence of your final paragraph if you chose to write your essay in my format. So I left off this question for now. If you're filling out the application first, go write your statement of purpose, reach that conclusion, and think about it. I am going to straight up read my answer to this, so please don't use this wording or sentence structure. If they find out like a bunch of people think sounding too similar, they're gonna know your copy. Also, they read my application and I got accepted, so they know what my words were. So it's gonna ring a bell if you write anything super duper similar to this. But once that's just my little disclaimer. So as a participant in the JET program, I want to familiarize myself with different elements of Japanese culture to expand my worldview. I intend to pursue a master's degree in screenwriting. So I hope to connect with various persons throughout Japan who can provide invaluable cultural exchange that would allow my artistic expression to reach across borders in my future career. So I think I'm pretty unique coming with like solely a film degree into the program. And if we go over what I just said as my answer, so we're rereading what the question is asking. Proposed direction of career and its relation to the JET program. I kind of answered it in reverse. So the relation is, as a participant, I want to familiarize myself with different elements of Japanese culture to expand my worldview. That is basically my main point of this whole thing. Then we go into the next sentence, and that is where I reveal what my career path is. I intend to pursue a master's degree in screenwriting. So now they have a clear picture of, okay, she wants to expand her worldview, but why would she want to do that? Oh, she wants to do screenwriting. So we know the best stories are based on real life, so okay, it kind of makes sense why she wants to expand her worldview and how is that helpful to her. And my last sentence is kind of long. So I hope to connect with various persons throughout Japan who can provide invaluable cultural exchange that would allow my artistic expression to reach across borders in my future career. And to piece everything together, this final part just further explains my career and how that would affect it. Cool. We established the 3 things they just asked for. I wanna familiarize myself with Japanese culture. Cool. I wanna be a screenwriter. Okay, so that is your proposed direction of your career. And how is that related to the JET program? The JET program allows me to connect with Japanese people, so that if I make films in the future, it would hopefully be able to connect with many people. So I hope me baby talking that kind of made it clearer. I was catching my tail to find the perfect words that summarize my whole answer to this in just 3 sentences. Okay, I spent forever on that question. We're now on 15. Japan related studies. So let's say you did some courses at like CLL or something, and you did study of Japanese language. You can fill this out. So name of institution, period of study, and content. Number 16, Japanese language proficiency. Evaluate your level and insert an X where appropriate in the following blank spaces. Guys, they specifically ask for an X. Do not put a circle, do not put a star, do not put a tick, put an X, please. You have reading, writing, speaking, and listening. I don't think I need to explain what these mean. Then you have advanced, semi-advanced, intermediate, elementary, introductory, none. name of certification and grade, date earned. Number 17, international slash intercultural experience. I've been fortunate to travel in the past, and this is what I put. I put Curacao. It was a family vacation, so I just put vacation as the purpose. And then the dates, I looked back in my passport, because if you forgot this, when you enter a country, they stamp when you enter and you stamp when you leave at customs. So that has the exact date, so you can go open up your passport, see the exact date. Example, mine was really long ago, so it was the 18th of the 8th 2014 to the 22nd of the 8th 2014. If you have multiple countries, cool. Number 18, language proficiency. So this is put into parts, but I don't know, they just label it different. So A, first language, write your first language. Pretty simple. English. Foreign language proficiency, evaluate your level and insert an X where appropriate. In high school, I did Spanish. I do not use Spanish in my everyday. I barely speak it, and because of that, I have forgotten a lot of stuff. So even though if I'm listening to something or I'm reading something, I could probably figure it out, but I can't speak it, so I decided to put an X by fear. Number 19, honors, awards, scholarships. I only have honors. I don't know, you put your name of your award if you have one, or like your scholarship. I got first class honors when I graduated, so because they asked for honors, I put first class honors. Extracurricular slash volunteer activities. Number 20, are you presently an applicant, or do you intend to apply for any other international exchange programs or scholarships? You might be in this position, so click yes. I click no. 21, have you ever participated in the JET program? I am a first time applicant of the JET program, so this does not apply to me. If you applied before, click yes, put your period, put your contracting organization. I click no. And then you have more options here. I applied to the JET program, years of application. So I guess that is like you applied but you were unsuccessful. I have written my intention of participating on the JET program after an assignment of contracting organization. 22, marital status. There are only 3 options: single, engaged, or married. I'm single. 23, so you could have a child or a spouse, and let's say you don't want your family to split up, you want to just all move together. So this is basically where you put that: the name, the relationship, the age, the sex, and where you just put your name there. Do you possess a full driver's license? Okay, I learned that there's a difference between license and permit recently, because if you didn't know, everyone calls it your driving license, but if you actually read on it, it says driving permit, and I didn't know there was a difference. I interpret my permit as my license. Now they update it so it's a license, so I think that just means you could drive anywhere. But I was like, yeah, I have a driver's license, so I clicked yes. Number 25, this is just where you want to live. Do some soul searching. I chose urban. I like city areas, and you have to only choose one, so think about your answer. Now we move on to part B. Block, prefecture, designated city, prefecture. Once again, go deeper in your soul. Go through they're gonna have like this massive chart with a letter followed by 2 numbers followed by the name of the city, and then you have to have a reason. So I suggest going through the entire list, see which areas you vibe with, where you think you'll be happy living, I've never been to Japan. I was like, well, here looks nice, but I don't know anything about here. But here looks like they have earthquakes and flood warning a lot. And oh my gosh, the active volcanoes. I don't want to be so far south. I don't want to be so far north. Know yourself. Go through the list of names. You could just keep open tab, clicking every single name and go through every city's Google page. Eventually something is going to stand out to you. Put that as your first choice. Then you're going to be having like maybe 2 to 3 choices and be like, I can see myself here, I can see myself there. Figure out who you want to put second and third. Sorry to disappoint, I don't want to disclose my cities because I just don't want to. But these are my reasons. The space extremely limited. So what did I do? I use little phrases. So first choice, I used the most phrases, 3 of them. Gorgeous city, lots of nature, moderate pace of life. My second and third choice, I didn't know which one to put second and third. So I just put them and then I stared at it and I was like, it feels wrong but also right, but I don't know. So they're basically the same reason for both. So the second choice is friendly reputation. So a lot of videos of people being like, oh, here is so friendly, they're not rude, they're not standoffish to foreigners. So I was like, okay, nice. And the third choice, again with friendly reputation, but I didn't want to write that as the same reason, so I put bright bubbly atmosphere. Going down to C, specific reason for placement. I left this blank. I don't have any medical reasons or family reasons. It's more of like I like here because it looks pretty and I like the vibe. Here we're kind of gonna skip it over. The little practice, it says CIR applications only, so you don't have to fill this out, so ignore that. Go to part B. Oh my gosh, what does it say? ALT placements. So you want to fill it out, but then you see CIR. Do not fill this out. You don't need to fill it out. So we go to C and it says early arrival placements. I don't know if I touched about that in the video as yet, but I wanted to go to early arrivals, so I click yes. But if you don't want to do early and you'd be like, I can't get my life in order, I'm not gonna just pick up and go if they tell me I have like 2 weeks to pack up and stuff, so you just click no, and it doesn't really matter. I didn't have a lot going on at the time, so I didn't mind going if I got accepted. So here's the document that I probably didn't talk about properly, but if yes, please submit your criminal record and certificate of health to the embassy or consulate general. 17. Where did you hear about the JET program? Guess which one I clicked. While technically I heard it from a JET alumni, it was not a personal encounter to say that I knew who the alumni was. They approached me or it came up in conversation naturally. So I clicked other, and I learned about this from a pretty well-known YouTuber who is living in Japan. He did the program. You could probably figure it out, but there's a lot of options here. So if you heard it from a professor, placement officer, former JET participant, current JET participant, embassy/consulate, campus visit, magazine, advertisement, magazine article, newspaper advertisement, newspaper article, internet advertisement, internet article, TV, radio, poster, career fair, JET alumni. I think it's very funny how like none of these amazing options did it. 28. Emergency contact information. First, who you normally have as an emergency contact. I like to always put my mom as my contact, so put her full name here, put the address would be the same address as mine. telephone, put her number, put her email address, relationship to the application, mother. Ooh, we made it to the final question. Well, it's not really a question, but and the final things you're gonna fill out here is date of application. So this was one of the first things I completely filled out. So mine was the 14/09/2022, and then your applicant signature. So do you fancy signatures? Do you whatever? And yeah, that is the entire form condensed into 9 brilliant pages. Now we reach the final segment, extra advice. Yeah, I have it written down here, so I'm just gonna read it out. Follow the embassy's social media. I use Instagram, I don't use Facebook. That is how I found out about the application beginning, and that is how I also found out about their open forum. That leads me to my second piece of advice: attend the forum. It is free. They're giving you important details, and you get to ask direct questions. Watch a lot of application videos. I probably watch almost every single application video out there just to know that I wasn't missing any information, and because it didn't have anybody specifically talking about the experience in Trinidad and Tobago, I was like, okay, so what would they do for me? Is this thing different? How is this go? There's a lot of Philippines videos out there, so thank you to all the Filipinos, but I don't speak the language, so I was kind of hoping I understood everything, and I did. So yeah. For all my anxious people, you do not have to enter the embassy to drop off your application. What you're gonna do is you're going to go to the security guard. He's outside by the gate. You go up, you hand him your little package with all your stuff. Once your application is submitted, that is final. You cannot ask them back for any changes. You will not get it back. Do not do that. Reread your application. Make sure you have all original and copies in order. Remember, this is a teaching position. No spelling errors. What to do after? Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. When they contact me, when are they gonna contact me? Calm yourself. Go and pray about it and just enjoy your Christmas season and forget about it. It is out of your hands until next year. So good luck to everybody. Hope to see you soon in my next video. I will be going over the statement of purpose in much greater detail. So bye.